Hi boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 1.8, using number grids. The materials that you'll need: notebook paper, pencil, math journal, and your number grid. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over Math Box page 8, which is from lesson 1.7. And this is the page that we did in the previous lesson. If you're noticing that you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. So for question number 1, how much money was there if we had 4 dimes? We would have 40 cents. Fill in the missing numbers for number 2. So after 13 is 14. I also know that 14 is 10 more than 4. They gave us 15. After 15 we have 16 and 17. And I know that 17 is 10 more than 7. For number 3, I can show 16 tally marks with having 3 groups of 5, 5, 10, 15, and then 1 tally on its own, showing 16. For question number 4, write the time. And I can see that my hour hand is in between the 6 and the 7, and my minute hand is right there on the 6, showing 6:30. For question number 5, solve. If I have 9, I need 2 more in order to get me to 11. So 9 plus 2 is equal to 11. And for number 6, fill in the missing frames. So the number that would come right before 15, I needed to do 5 less, or subtract 5. So I would have 10. Then they gave me 15. 15 plus 5 is 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. And then I can just check. 25 plus 5 would also give me 30. And again, if you notice you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. We'll put our math journal to the side, and if you could take out your whiteboard and marker if available, or a notebook and pencil. If the speed is ever too fast, please pause as often as needed. So boys and girls, if you have that number grid poster next to you, if you could refer to that. But let's say I'm counting by 2s. What number comes after 4? You should have written down 6. Well, what if I'm counting by 5s? What number would come after 10? So I'm at 10, counting by 5s. My next number would be 15. What if I'm counting by 10s? What number comes after 20? You should say 30. And again, if I'm going too fast, please pause. I'm counting by 4s this time. What comes after 16? So again, I was at 4, and then I went to 8, 12, 16, then it would be 20. I'm counting by 3s. What number comes after 12? So I had 3, 6, 9, 12. What would be 3 more than 12? You should have 15. I'm counting by 6s. What number comes after 12? I had 6, 12. You might want to pause and figure out what's 12 more than 6. You should have 18. I'm counting by 10s. What number comes after 23? So I must have started at 3, 13, 23. What comes next? You would say 33. I'm counting by 20s. What number I am counting by 20s. What number comes after 15? So I have 15, and I'm counting up by 20. So 15 plus 20 more. You should have 35. And for our last one, I'm counting by 10s. What number comes before 83? Here's 83. What's 10 less than 83? You would say 73. We're going to still look at that number grid. What number is 1 more than 46? Here's 46. What's 1 more than 46? You should have 47. What number is 10 more than 46? Here's our 46. 10 more than 46 would be 56. What number is 1 less than 46? 46. 1 less would be 45. What number is 10 less than 46? 10 less than 46. You would say 36. Second graders, for this next thing, you can just watch, so you don't need to write down anything. I'm just going to show you how to use your hundreds chart when you're filling out your number grids. And then we'll practice doing a number grid where you'll do most of it, but then we'll check to make sure our answers are great. So for this first one, just watch. So I'm going to pull up my number grid. And so if I have the number 18, and I'm going to look at that number 18, and I want to figure out the numbers that are next to it. So maybe we'll put a little circle here around 18 so that I can find that. There we go. And so the number that is 1 less than 18 would be 17. So then I would put 17 in this box next to it. The number that's 1 more than 18 is 19. So I'm going to plug in my 19. And then when I'm looking underneath 18, so I want to see, well, what's 10 more? 10 more than 18 is 28. Then from 28, I can think, well, 1 less than 28 would be 27. And if I go back to 28, 1 more than 28 would be 29. And then if I look again at my 17 and I think 10 less than 17, 10 less than 17 would be 7. Then I'm going to keep counting by 1. So right after 7, I would have 8, and then I would have 9. And let's practice one more like this. This time I'm going to practice with 32. So I'm going to move my circle to the number 32. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to think, okay, what's 1 less than 32? Would be 31. And then if I think what's 1 more than 32, I would have 33. Then maybe I want to stay at my 33 and I could think, okay, 10 more than 33 would be 43. 10 less than 33 would be 23. Then I need to count backwards. So 1 less than 23 would be 22. And 1 less than 22 would be 21. Looking at 43, 1 less than 43 would be 42. And 1 less than 42 would be 41. And if you look again, so you can see my numbers are counting by 10, 21, 31, 41. And then when they're going across, like 21, 22, 23, they're just increasing by 1. So I'm going to have you try looking at your number grids. So if you can put your notebook to the side, and will you take out your math journal, and let's take a look at page 9. It looks like this. So if you have your number grid, can you plug in the missing numbers for each of these? So you can think about 2, you're just going up by 1. When you think about this one going down from 7s, you're increasing by 10 each time. And then for some of them, you might be like, if I'm at 66, I'm going to first count by 1s, but then I'm going to count by 10s. So again, I want you to pause the video, and I want you to do as much of page 9 as you can on your own, and then press play when you're ready to talk about the answers. All right, pause now. All right, second graders, so you probably are done with hopefully all of this page. And if there's one that we're getting to that you're not done with, you can always pause, finish your work, and then press play to hear the answer. But we're going to start in this top left-hand corner. Notice how I had to turn my page a little bit so it's easier for me to see. So they gave us the number 2, then I could count down with my 3, 4, and my 5. Then I'm going to look at that one that had started with 7, and this time I had to go count by tens. So then I had 17, 27, and 37. If I'm going too fast, you can pause as often as you need to. For this one, on the side, they gave me 9, and so then I needed to plug in. I know 1 more than 9 was 10, and then I was counting by tens. So I had 10, 20, 30, and 40. I'll keep going to the one down below that one. So this one, they started with 80. So I needed to think, well, 10 less than 80 was 70. 10 less than 70 was 60. 10 more would have been 90. And then 10 more than that would be 100. Now let's go back to the left and we'll do this problem over on the side here. So for this one, they started at 21. Then I plugged in 22 and 23. And then I know 10 more than 22 would be 32. This one, I had to figure out that mystery number 34, and I figured that out with thinking 1 less than 35 was 34, 10 less than 35 was 25, and then 10 more gave me 45. For this one on the side, we started with 61, 71, 81, 91. And then 1 more than 71 is 72. 1 more than 81 is 82. 1 more than that is 83. Now to figure out this last box, if it helps to plug in numbers in between, you could. But otherwise I could think, okay, 91. Well, this would be 92. This would be 93. So this one has to be 94. And then here we had 66, 67, 68. And then counting by tens, 78 and 88. And again, if you want more time, you can pause and then press play when you're ready to move on. The last thing we'll quickly talk about is our math boxes on page 10. So for problem number 1, you need to plug in the missing numbers. For number 2, you're also writing down the missing numbers. So you're thinking about what number is 1 more than 124, 1 more than 126, 1 more than 128. Show 2 ways to make 5 cents, and then write if it's either odd or even. So think about 3. Is 3 an odd number or an even number? And write those for each of those numbers below. And then fill in the missing frame. So if I'm at 20 and I add 10, think about what number is going to come next. If I'm at 40 and I add 10, and keep going to plug in those numbers that are coming next. And for my last one, I'm solving. So something equals 6 plus 5. So I can think, what's 6 plus 5? But I'm going to write down my answer right before it. Then I have my 7 plus 5. And then for the same thing for the third one. Something equals 8 plus 5. So I can think about what's 8 plus 5, but then I'm going to write my answer right before it. For the unit, you can put whatever you want. Today, I'm going to have my unit be dogs. You can have your unit, whatever you would like. All right, when you're all done, please take a picture, add that picture to Seesaw for your classroom teacher, and we will go over this video in our next lesson. All right, thank you. Have a great day.